Hi, I'm Monica Weitzel, the host of Community Hotline. Each week we highlight local nonprofit organizations. Tonight we'll start out talking with the Gresham Center for the Arts Foundation. This segment features the next guest on their third Thursday series, Whitebird. This company is responsible for bringing the best of dance to Portland. And following Whitebird, we'll be visiting with the Friends of Multnomah County Library. You can find out how to prepare for a summer of reading by stocking up at this month's used book sale. And finally, we will chat with Stephanie from Old McDonald's Farm Incorporated. How many places offer kids the chance to learn about animals, agriculture, and more in a fun, hands-on setting? You'll find out right here on Community Hotline, so stick around. We'll be right back. Hi, and welcome to Community Hotline. My name is Monica Weitzel. We're here in Gresham at MetroEast Community Media. We're going to have a full show tonight. I want to start off with, and please don't be mad at me, crew in there, but I want to say hello to my brand new grandchild. Ava Gabriella was born 2 days ago, and I'm pretty excited about that, so I wanted to welcome her to the world and to Community Hotline. So tonight we're going to start out with the Center for the Arts Foundation. Sue O'Halloran, you are the president of the Center for the Arts, and I am so glad to have you back here.
Well, thank you, Monica. Yeah. I'm always pleased to come and visit with you, too.
Good.
And congratulations.
Thank you. I couldn't help myself.
Right.
So you've been presenting the third Thursday series, and you have the very last episode or segment of it coming up.
Yes.
And it's going to be Whitebird.
It is, and so we're really excited about that. We've had authors and sculptors and all kinds of interesting people. So this time we're looking at talking about dance. So we've invited Paul King and Walter Jaffe, and these two men co-founded about 17 years ago Whitebird. And I think you're familiar with Whitebird, are you not?
Yes, I have. I've been to several of their performances, or performances brought here by Whitebird. And they've been around, for 17 years. That's a long time.
It is a long time. So two very interesting men. So they're going to be telling us stories about some of the performances and actually what really does it take to bring these kinds of theater groups or dance groups to town. And our goal is eventually, of course, to have them come here to our East County area.
That would be wonderful.
So we'll be learning from them. But they, excuse me, they came from New York. Originally, 17 years ago, and came out here to find that there wasn't a lot going on in dance. So
they decided to fill that little niche there.
That niche and that gap.
Yeah. Well, I know that they brought just hundreds of performances here to Portland, and for those who don't, who may have gone to some of the performances but don't know much about the background of Whitebird, this is a chance, the third Thursday series is a chance for people to come and actually talk up close and personal and hear from the people who founded it.
Right.
Get kind of behind the scenes stories.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, which is what Third Thursdays is kind of all about.
It is. It's learning about creativity and actually learning about and talking with people who make things happen in the world of arts. So we thought nobody better than two men who saw that there was something missing in their city and made it happen. And as you know, you've seen some of the dance troupes that they brought to town. So they bring in the very best of the best.
They do. I saw two performances last year. The first one I saw was a Ballet Hispanico from New York City. And they were wonderful, and it was very special for me and my family because my my daughter's best friend, Jessica. That's a picture of her right there, Jessica Wyatt. She is with Ballet Hispanico. She was my daughter's maid of honor at her wedding this year, and she had had one of the lead performances that night. And we had a whole row filled up with my family to see her. But it was a sellout performance, and it was wonderful. It was energetic, and it was vibrant, and it was really, really special. And what I didn't realize until they came there and talked with Jessica was to find out that they do much more than just bring dance performances here. They actually do a lot of community outreach.
They do. They bring a lot of dance into the schools in the Portland Public School District. And so one of the things that we hope to learn from them is how they do that, because it's something we'd like to do. Here, you know, we have Right Brain that is now in the Gresham Barlow, district. And so something that we'd like to maybe see if we can help bring that to our school district out here. So a lot to learn from these two very interesting men. And I think it'll be fun because they'll have probably some pretty good stories to tell as well.
I bet they do. You know, being in the arts and the performing arts, you know, I bet they have some great behind-the-scenes stories. They not only, I understand, they bring performers here. They do a lot of community outreach and bring dance to the schools, to kids who maybe never would have had a chance to see a professional dance performance. But they also commission works, I understand?
Yes, they do. And so they bring interesting type of dance that we wouldn't ordinarily see in a tour group coming out here. So by using some of their funds in commissioning works, that gives an opportunity for perhaps an emerging or an up and coming company to actually come and bring something new to the table.
Yeah,
yes,
that's great.
is.
Yeah, they have local companies, regional companies, national and international.
Yes, they do. So interesting what's coming up in the next week or so. I think it's around about April 21st, and it's fun. You can find them easily at whitebird.org and get info. But they're bringing the folks from Harlem. So
the dance theater of Harlem.
Yes,
that would be very exciting. I would love to see that.
It's not been here for many a year. And then the very end of the month, they're bringing tap. So you can to jazz and blues.
Oh, fun.
So
that'd be a blast.
Yes, that will be a blast. Yeah. So we encourage people, you know, to actually check them out, but also come and just meet these really totally interesting men who created something from basically nothing, from rarely that we ever have these coming into our area. And now there's one every other week or so. So they're very busy men.
I'm sure they are. Explain to our viewers who may not have heard of or attended any Third Thursdays events exactly what people can expect when they go there.
Yes, we should back up and talk about what's going on here locally. So Third Thursday Studios is an opportunity, the third Thursday of each of the months in October and November, and then again after the first of the year, going through February, March, and April. And so we use the Gresham Historical Society Museum. They're at 410 North Main. Wonderful building. The acoustics and just the ambiance there.
It's an intimate setting.
It's an intimate setting. It lends itself to an evening of what I would say is interesting conversation, because you get to interact with these very talented
They're not
people.
up here and you're out there. You're right there with them.
Right.
Yeah.
So doors open up at 6:30 on Thursday evening. So Paul King and Walter Jaffe, April 16th is the date. And doors open at 6:30, and there's always some really nice wine and some hors d'oeuvres, and you get to have an opportunity to just chat with the gentleman before the actual speaking engagement, and then it's interactive with questions and answers as well. So it makes for a really, as you said, an intimate evening. And you can just purchase tickets at the door. You can go to our website, and you can get them, you know, at a website as well. but it's easy to just drop in at the last minute
Right.
without planning ahead of time. We welcome everybody.
Yeah, I attended Will Horniak, storyteller.
Yes.
I attended his performance earlier this season, and it was so much fun. I
Yeah.
really, really enjoyed it, and just being able to talk with him, and he's so willing to answer questions and to share his stories, and it just made it was a whole different kind of experience, and it's not one that many people get a chance to experience.
And
so.
that's part of what the Third Thursday Studios has been about, is really bringing people that you wouldn't ordinarily had the opportunity to meet. And also that opportunity to see how people think creatively, and how do they actually make action happen? How do they make?
Right.
How do they actually make it?
How to come up
in
with
that,
those ideas.
Yes.
Yeah.
It made me think particularly of Bob Mike Surrey, the sculptor that we had.
He had some
And
interesting work.
oh my goodness, yes, very creative, using heavy metals. So, you and I wouldn't think about how you would use steel in the form of art, but those are the kinds of things, particularly for people who maybe have an interest even for themselves in, for instance, dance. If we had the opportunity here with even some of our dance studios here, how do they go about doing something on a little larger stage?
So it might be a good opportunity for those people to ask and
To
get maybe a
learn.
little inside inside knowledge on how to promote themselves, or to
Right.
move up a couple notches in
Right.
the dance community.
Yeah.
It's pretty exciting stuff. Good.
It is. So, and the other thing that I think is engaging is many people don't really come into the Historical Society Museum. And so we do a little extra exposure of what's
and
in
it's
their
fun. You
exhibits,
can kind
change,
of
and
you can kind of wander around and check out the
Yes.
this. So come a little early. What time do you say the doors open?
doors open at 6:30.
Okay.
The performance is at 7.
You have a
And
glass of wine and
generally
go.
have a glass of wine, and
The food was good too. I remember that.
yes,
Was
yes.
good.
We have really somebody who's very talented, kind of an up and coming culinary artist. So she does some interesting things. And then towards the end of the evening, there's an opportunity then to ask specific questions and interact again with our guest speakers. So
good stuff.
But evening ends around about 8 o'clock, so you can get home early
Gotta get home
if
in
you
time.
need
Good
to.
deal. Good deal.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Sue. I appreciate you coming and talking to us about the Center for the Arts Foundation, and then also about specifically the Third
And
Thursdays.
so I just want to make sure I tell you too, and our audience, that Music Mondays, this will be our
Summer again.
6th summer of doing Music Mondays. So
And does that
those
start in
are
June?
In July.
July,
So
okay.
every Monday in July and August, those are free concerts over on the Arts Plaza
Been to
in
many of those,
downtown
yes.
Gresham.
They're
So
great fun.
we want to make sure that people know, we're trying to present things from the arts year round. And so we'll be moving on into summer things.
And if it's really, really hot, don't worry. There's fountains there coming up
That's
out of the
right.
ground, and
There are.
and
And
kids and
wonderful
adults alike
picnic
are in there.
grass area.
Yeah,
So-
it's a great location
Yes.
for a
So
summer
thank
picnic.
you
Listen,
for
it's
letting
amazing.
me remind everybody about
You
that
bet,
as well.
you bet. Okay. Well, thanks so much. And I hope you enjoyed hearing about Whitebird and the Center for the Arts and their Third Thursday series. Don't go away. We'll be back with more of Community Hotline.
Coming here to shoot my documentary was more than I ever would have dreamed of doing.
This is a community media station.
It was phenomenal.
Ready, camera one.
What is it about this place that makes so many different people come together?
Ready, camera two.
Very professional, experienced people.
You can use these industry standard pieces of equipment.
Ready, camera three. Take three.
You don't have to be rich to do this.
Open people's eyes to something they've never even thought of before.
Cool stuff happens. It becomes this community.
That's going to really change who's telling the stories and who's controlling the messaging.
What local community media is to us is literally our lifeline to what's going on in the lives around us.
The absolute most important thing that happens in your neighborhood.
People's local communities are usually what's most important to them.
Because we're the faces, the smiles, the peoples, and the personalities of the community.
To not only give people a voice, but to have their voice heard.
Local government is a very important part of our daily lives. You might think the decisions that affect us most are made in Washington, D.C., but frequently what happens at the local level has the biggest impact. Safe and clean streets and parks, local ballot measures to ensure funding for police, these are just a few of the issues that matter most. At MetroEast, we provide gavel-to-gavel coverage of local government so you can see what's happening in your East County cities. Watch city councils, planning commissions, and school boards on these cable channels or online.
Have you ever wanted to create a TV show of your own? Come check out the basic editing class at MetroEast. Our trainers will give you the skills you need to flex your creative muscles. Using our state-of-the-art IMAX and Final Cut Pro 10, you can work with your own videos, add graphics and music, and even drop in cool special effects like green screen and slow motion. The best part? No experience is required. All ages and skill levels are welcome. Find out more on our website at metroeast.org.
I love my bus driver because he gets me to school on time and I'll never be late.
I love my bus driver because of the fact that they've seen my children and ourselves grow.
Every one of them has been kind and efficient. They're always courteous.
They're part of my neighborhood, part of my everyday.
They help out people when it's unnecessary.
From me being pregnant and going to the doctor's appointment on the bus to now taking them to school and just being familiar with them. And that's what I love about my bus driver.
It's a great system and I like the way it runs.
Hi, and welcome back to Community Hotline. I'm Monica Weitzel. We're here at MetroEast Community Media in Gresham. And now we're going to be talking with an organization that works with one of my favorite things in the world, and that's books. This is the Friends of Multnomah County Library. We have with us Jason Green, the sorting room manager at Friends of Multnomah County Library, and Sho Roberts, you're his assistant.
Yes.
Okay, so nice to have you here.
Thanks for having us.
So tell me, how did you both get involved with Friends of Multnomah County Library? You've been there, what, about a year you said, I think? We were talking earlier?
Yeah, we started
last spring.
You
last
started
spring
at the same
sale.
time?
Yep, we started at the exact same time.
Wow.
Yep.
You're still putting up with each other.
Well, if you aren't familiar with the Friends of the Library, that's a great organization, and
how long have they been around? Has it been
since 1972?
Oh wow, that's a
so
while.
quite a while, over
Yeah.
40 years, I believe.
Yeah.
And
And so why was it started?
it was started to help support library,
Mhm.
to get stable funding, and to advocate for the support of the library.
Oh, good. Okay. So so is that still the mission of Friends
It
of
is,
the Library?
yep.
Okay. So what kinds of things do you do? Do you have to go down to Salem and and petition for things, or how do you go about advocating? And
Well, I don't know
supporting?
if you remember the levies that would come up, and so each year people would have to vote
Right.
to help fund the library, and so we would advocate for the library to help secure the solid funding.
So do you actually work with public officials, or do you just work with the public trying to educate them about?
Work with the public through our sales is our main sort of advocacy thing. So we sign people up for memberships, and they'll get our newsletter, and we put signs up in people's yards and all that kind of stuff.
So if people are big readers or supporters of the library or big books, and it's not just reading, I mean, the library has so much to offer now.
So many programs.
Right. Yeah, that if people are, they support that, then being a member of Friends of Multnomah County Library might be a good place to show their support for
That'd be
that.
great, because also Friends of the Library helps the library through helping with page turners and getting money for different programs.
Okay.
So if you do page turners, then you're.
Well, tell us about page turners.
Page Turners is kind of it's like a book club that takes place at different library branches, and it's basically that's what it is, book club.
And is this for all ages, or is it?
All ages,
Yeah,
and
all
every
ages.
library has them at different times. So you can go and check to see if your local library, when it is, and if that one doesn't work with your schedule, you can check to see other library branches and see what they have it.
And there's libraries everywhere, so
Yes.
it's like I just moved, and it's like, okay, I know where the library is there, I'm good. It's one of the first things you have to check out.
Right. Once you
Right.
find your local library, you feel like you're more at home, you're more settled
Okay,
in your
okay,
neighborhood.
here's my post office, here's my library, here's my grocery store, I'm good. So what are some of the other programs that that you particularly like? How about you, Shel? What are some of the things that you really find worthwhile and that are important to keep in the library system?
Library system. See, I'm still new to Portland. I just
Oh, are
moved
you?
here
Okay, so you
right
haven't
when
had
I
years of
started,
it
so
like
I still
I have.
I'm learning more things about it. But when I we work with a lot of volunteers, and they talk about the page turners, and then everybody reads and going to the discussions, and they kind of have their own discussions about the main book, like residue years.
I just
right now.
Yep.
So those
I
are the
just started
great
reading
things
that.
is hearing and being part of is that our volunteers who help us, who are also kind of then helping the library, but then they're part of the library too by going to the page turners and going to residue years. And those are the things that I think is great, is having those book clubs that the library puts on
People
for.
talk about it, and then they spread the word.
And there's different kinds of book clubs throughout the different libraries.
So if you
too.
have different
Tastes.
interests
Yeah.
and tastes, yeah.
Yeah.
So what, did you grow up in this area, Jason?
No, I didn't.
Uh-uh.
No.
Yeah, so I grew up in Milwaukee and then have lived in Portland pretty much all my adult life. So I grew up going to the library, always going to the library. It was Clackamas County out in Milwaukee, but yeah, always had that library card, It was a big deal. I remember taking my kids, the first time you get their library card, and it was such a big deal. And they got to pick out their own books, and how exciting. So now that summer is not that far away, I mean, we've had
right around the corner.
I know we've had some weather that feels really summer-like. It makes me really excited. That's a time when a lot of people catch up on their reading. I don't know why, they just seem to have more time. Even if you're still working the same amount of hours, you just want to spend more time outdoors. And people, well, I always have a book with me, always, in my purse, in my desk, whatever.
Good.
But even if you don't, it's always nice to get some good summer books. And sometimes people like the lighter books during the summers, when they go on vacation. But you have a sale coming up that might be a good time to stock up on some books.
That's a great time to stock up.
Yeah. So tell me about the sale that you have going on.
The sale is going to be the weekend of April 17th, 18th, and 19th.
Okay.
It'll be located at Gresham Station Shopping Center.
Okay. And anybody that's in East County knows where that is.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
It's just a block from the Mac stop there.
Right.
So it's easily
right
accessible.
On the Mac stop, yeah.
Yeah. The Friday night, it's open from 6 to 9, and that's for members only. It's sort of members only night.
Oh, so they get first pick. There's an advantage there to being a member.
I'll say that we have one of the best used book sales in Oregon.
Really?
And it's probably the most organized.
Really?
And it's yeah, it's.
So you guys are good, in other words.
We're very,
Yeah.
we go through, we look at the books, we pick the quality of the books, and then we put it into different categories. So if you're looking for a certain, if you have different interests, you're able to go to that category and then look for those books instead of looking through every single book to find that one book
piles
that you
and piles
might
in a bin
interest.
or something. So how is it set up? How is it, I mean, is it in the parking lot?
No,
is it in stores where?
This is, we rent a space in the shopping center.
Okay, so they
so
have
it's
an empty-
inside,
yeah,
yep,
okay.
it's inside. And it's open Saturday, 9, what is it, 9 o'clock it opens, I think?
I don't have the day, but
9
I
to
guess you
6.
can find it for me.
9 to 6,
9
and
to 6 on
Sunday
Saturday.
from 10 to 4 p.m.
Okay. And those Saturday and Sunday for anybody?
Yes, anybody.
come.
I'll say that the memberships, we do sell memberships at the door
Right,
Friday night, and they're very reasonably priced.
Okay, and if people want more information on that, they could probably go to the website.
Yep, they can
Get
go to
that?
the website.
Yes.
Okay, good. So, so people go to the Gresham station. There will be signs, I assume, showing them.
There'll be
Oh,
leading
yeah.
we have arrows
We
leading
have
you to the
good.
store.
signs, it's
Good.
true.
Now, this picture, this isn't one of the sales.
This is one of our sales, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
There's so many.
I know. We'll have approximately 20,000 books at this sale.
Wow, I am impressed. Now, are these books all from 1962, or do you have newer
No.
books?
Nope,
No,
we have
these are-
bestsellers. Some people, because all of our books we get are donated from the public. So we go
Yeah.
through that and they donate bestsellers. We have range. We have antique books. We have
Really?
the
So you
newest
have
book,
everything.
paper. We really do have everything.
Yep.
You sent a little clip, a little video clip, and maybe they can show that. That was pretty cute, kind of showing the books that you have, and maybe they can bring that up for us while we're talking about it. But I am so amazed you have that many books, and
It's a lot of books, and we sort through them throughout the year. We have
say, that's
2
gotta be a
sales a
year-long.
year. We have 2 sales a year. So there's spring sale, and then in the fall we have a even larger sale.
oh really? Oh, so
Yeah.
this is the little one.
So this is small.
this
this
is
is smaller, but it's still the same quality of
Yeah.
books.
How many books do you get at the other one?
Probably 3 times as much. Really? Yeah.
Yep.
Wow. Oh, check it out. There's.
This might be a
there you
little
go.
dizzying, but
Whoa,
this
look
is
at
just
And we have
through lots of them.
the popular fiction. We have mystery. We have paperbacks, hardcover.
Even some of those I can actually catch the
History.
titles.
A lot of
of, you know, 'cause-
history, biographies, books on music, a lot of great art books.
Pretty much
A lot
everything.
of great children's books. It's a great resource for
children's books,
teachers,
yeah.
Yes.
for educators, if they're looking for cheap
Yeah.
books on a tight budget.
Or if you own a daycare and you got kids coming
Yeah,
in, or you
yeah.
got.
You
or,
own one of the free
And
libraries.
it's not just books,
Yeah.
Monica. We have DVDs,
Oh, you're selling those too?
CDs, audiobooks. It's
Ooh, really?
a little bit of everything. Yeah.
Yep. And also on Friday and Saturday, we have a collector's corner, which is where we have higher priced books that are
actual-
antiques, that are out of
Yes.
print, that are worth money.
Signed copies, maybe?
Signed
Oh,
copies,
signed copies.
Really?
ephemera, records. We have that as well available.
You'd be amazed at what people donate because all these books are just given to us and donated.
Which
And-
makes much higher profit level.
Well, yeah,
Which
and
we
all
then
the,
give to the library.
the
Yeah.
funds go to support the library.
So are they earmarked for any particular thing, or you just give them to the library and let them decide where they most need the money?
The funding?
Yeah.
I don't know exactly, but
I bet they
I think
just,
they ask for
Yeah.
when they need certain amounts. They
Yeah.
ask our board, and they're able
I
to
can
put
tell you
there.
that in the past 5 years, we've made from the sales $550,000.
Wow. Now, this
about-
isn't just in Gresham. This is
No,
right.
this is
How
is
many
Gresham and
places do you
Portland.
do this?
We do this sale twice a year.
Okay.
We
Like for
also-
example, this one is in Gresham. Is there one also in Portland at the same time, or
No,
or
the one
a
in
different
Portland is
time?
in the fall, in
Oh,
October.
okay. Oh, I got it. So this one.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is the one. The spring one is here in Gresham. Oh, cool. Very nice. Oh, this will be fun. I can't wait.
It's a good time, and we make it a lot of fun. It's mostly volunteer run, and a lot of the volunteers, it's an army of volunteers that help.
Really is.
How
that
many
put this
volunteers
on.
do you need for something like this?
Oh,
We go through.
it's hundreds of volunteers.
Really?
And we have volunteers in our sorting room because it takes us the whole year to just prepare
I
for these
can
sales.
imagine.
And so we have volunteers that have been with us for 15 years.
Wow.
That
People
help
like
us
books.
sort through the books, organize them, categorize them, box them up for these sales.
Wow. That sounds like fun, though. It sounds like a fun
It's
time.
super fun.
It's a lot of fun.
So, as far as volunteer work goes, sorting is obviously something they can do. What other kinds of things would you have for volunteers to do, like throughout the year? Do you have other opportunities?
Well, throughout the year, we have a store. Our Friends of the Library store is at the Central Library in downtown Portland. We also have an online store
Oh, okay.
that we started a few years back, and that's
I knew
been
that.
really successful. If people are interested in volunteering for the Friends, I suggest they go to the website
Okay.
and look under how to help.
Okay.
And they can see a list of our opportunities.
Good.
The largest needs are during our sales.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And so that's when we need
so
most
if they want to
people.
just, get right in there. Do you still have a need, or are you pretty well?
Oh,
You're pretty well.
No, you can always take a
can
look
check
and
it
sign
out.
up.
Yeah.
What's great is that even for the sales, we have certain volunteers who volunteer at every single sale. So it's kind of like you see your friends again. Like,
Yeah.
oh, hi.
Yeah.
And they come
Hey.
back every year. That's a
Did
good
they
time.
go to the one in Gresham and the one in Portland?
Some-
yes.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. So what's your favorite part about show? Tell me what's your favorite part about being with Friends of Multnomah County Library?
My favorite part is working with the volunteers
Yeah.
and being able to kind of relate with them on books. And they're a lot of older than I am, so I'm able to get like life lessons as well, and
There you
then talk
go.
about everyone talks about like what they just read and what they recommend, and having that atmosphere while we're getting the books ready for the sale. And that's
Kind of
my
a
favorite
stimulating
part.
atmosphere, I would think. and
It
it's,
really
you know,
is.
Yeah. So, so what? Are you a big reader?
I am a big reader.
Are you too?
Yes.
You kind of. I imagine if you weren't,
kinda
when
have to
yeah,
be.
if you
You
weren't
have
when
to
you
be-
started, you would end up being
Yeah.
a big reader.
You have
You have to
love
have
the
that
books.
love for books
Yeah.
to be wanted to be surrounded by books throughout your all the time
Yeah.
you're working. Is basically
I'll be
true.
checking out the children's section since I have a new grandbaby. Just, I was like,
yeah.
I
You-
need to get
you
got
can
to
get
set
some
up here.
Great
Great
kids
kids'
books
books.
at
Yeah.
amazing prices.
So,
All of our books are
you know,
amazing
if people are
prices.
smart, they'll go do their Christmas shopping now,
Right.
or whatever holiday they're
Yeah.
going to be,
And if you're really
birthdays,
smart,
whatever.
you're gonna go on Friday and get that membership in line.
There you go.
You're gonna
That's
get
right.
the first look, the best view. And when the tables are emptying, we're always putting them more out. So there's always replenishing to everything that we have out if there's able to.
Throughout the weekend. And Sunday is half off of everything left. 50%.
God, there's all these good reasons
So-
for going.
And it's just a feel good, the money goes towards the library. So,
yeah. So no matter what, you,
no
you
matter
can feel
what,
good about what you're
you
doing.
can feel good about it. Yep.
I like that. I like that. So during the year, if you're sorting the books and you find one that you really want, do you take it and then read it and then bring it back, redonate it?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
But a lot of time we purchase them too. Like
Yeah.
I'm
Oh, yeah,
always excited
yeah.
for the sales and seeing what we have available. And even though I've seen these books before, I always leave with a box myself full
I
of
bet
books.
you do. I bet you do. What other things? If you are a Friends of the Library supporter and you are have paid your membership for that, are there other advantages? Obviously you're supporting the library, which is the main thing. But are there other advantages or other things that come with that membership
Sure,
besides
yeah.
getting first dibs on the books?
Yeah, you not only get into that first night, members only night, you'll get our newsletter.
Oh, okay.
I believe you get a discount at our store
Okay.
at Central Library.
Well,
And you get invited to things like our annual meeting where we'll have an invited guest speaker and
I bet that would probably be
some good
some
food.
Good
Yeah.
I probably have a lot of good speakers, probably authors and,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
that kind of thing. Well, that sounds good. Well, I would encourage people to check that out, and I will be looking for you on the 17th, 18th, and 19th. Will you both be there all 3 days?
Oh yes,
Yep.
we help
Oh,
manage
yes.
the sales and make
Yeah.
sure everybody behaves themselves.
Well, that doesn't sound like fun. No. So, before I let you go, what's the most important thing that people should know about this sale coming up?
It's where the wild books are.
Oh, there's a theme. That's right.
There's our
Tell me
theme.
real quick about the theme.
That's our theme. Where the wild books are. It's a little play on Maurice Sendak's children's
Where the
book
Wild Things
and
Are, yeah.
Cheryl Stray's Wild.
Which is
And
Portland.
Yep.
and-
All the books we brought here have wild in the
Yeah,
title.
let's take a look at some of these books just
And
to
these
get
are
an
kind of
idea.
a little thing of so we have paperbacks available.
So this is A Call of the Wild and White Fang, Jack
Yep,
Henry,
and
which
classic
is a
books.
classic book. So we have a classic book,
Yep, and we have Wild.
which is Cheryl Strait,
every-
which is a new movie out and
Yeah,
all that.
very
So this is
popular,
a
very
very popular
popular.
book. So this is a fairly new book. I mean,
Yeah.
this is and
Oh,
it's
yeah.
in great shape and.
It looks like you could just go to a
Yeah, it looks
new
like-
bookstore, right, and
I
purchase
I
it.
could pawn this off as having just bought it at Barnes and Noble or something.
Exactly.
Into the Wild. I read this one. Good book.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that one's a national bestseller.
I have one.
Why don't you show? Why don't you?
This
hold
is the
up some
Wild
books?
Trees, and
Wild Trees.
so we have books about nature.
Okay.
Yeah.
And this is a different version of Into the Wild?
Oh
Is that
yeah,
the
we
same?
just,
Oh,
lots of wild books.
okay. What else do you got going here?
Books about hiking and wildlife in Oregon,
wild.
Washington. More wild animals, wild minds. I said
Wild Minds. This is a lovely.
What animals really think?
I love that.
We have lots of books on Oregon, and look, this has never been opened.
Oh wow.
This is a brand new book, and people
Oregon
this
Wild
stuff to us.
Endangered Forest Wilderness. This would be
So-
a great book to give to somebody that lives in another state and wants to visit, and you want to encourage them to come check it out.
Right. The wildflowers.
Lovely,
Yeah.
lovely.
Lots of gardening books.
Lots of
really?
gar-
Oh, good,
Tons of good
okay.
gardening books. Tons of good cookbooks too. We have
Ooh,
a
yeah.
large cookbook section. Lots of kids books.
The Wild.
Lots of great kids books.
Okay, good. And Wild Park.
And
Geez,
then
look at the
just
huge book.
Big books like this.
That's
a
a coffee table book there.
Yes.
Yeah. Nice. Well, this is great. Good stuff. So if you want to stock up for your summer reading or buy your gifts for the holidays or just want to peruse and have a good time going through the books, this is where the wild people are going to be.
Yeah.
17th, 18th, and 19th. Thank you so much, Jason and Show, for coming
Thanks for
today.
having
And,
me.
and if people want more information about the Friends of Multnomah County Library or about the sale, be sure to go to their website, and the information should be on your screen. Don't go away. We'll be right back with more of Community Hotline.
Coming here to shoot my documentary was more than I ever would have dreamed of doing.
This is a community media station.
It was phenomenal.
Ready, camera one.
What is it about this place that makes so many different people come together?
Ready, camera two.
Very professional, experienced people.
You can use these industry standard pieces of equipment.
Ready, camera three. Take three.
You don't have to be rich to do this.
Open people's eyes to something they've never even thought of before.
Cool stuff happens. It becomes this community.
That's going to really change who's telling the stories and who's controlling the messaging.
What local community media is to us is literally our lifeline to what's going on in the lives around us.
The absolute most important thing that happens in your neighborhood.
People's local communities are usually what's most important to them.
Because we're the faces, the smiles, the peoples, and the personalities of the community.
To not only give people a voice, but to have their voice heard.
Local government is a very important part of our daily lives. You might think the decisions that affect us most are made in Washington, D.C., but frequently what happens at the local level has the biggest impact. Safe and clean streets and parks, local ballot measures to ensure funding for police, these are just a few of the issues that matter most. At MetroEast, we provide gavel-to-gavel coverage of local government so you can see what's happening in your East County cities. Watch city councils, planning commissions, and school boards on these cable channels or online.
Have you ever wanted to create a TV show of your own? Come check out the basic editing class at MetroEast. Our trainers will give you the skills you need to flex your creative muscles. Using our state-of-the-art IMAX and Final Cut Pro 10, you can work with your own videos, add graphics and music, and even drop in cool special effects like green screen and slow motion. The best part? No experience is required. All ages and skill levels are welcome. Find out more on our website at metroeast.org.
It's time to address a few facts about the state of Oregon. It's common knowledge that Portland is ranked among the most creative and innovative workforces in the country, and Portland ranks second among all U.S. cities in volunteer hours. But here's something you may not know.
Oregon has the 4th worst graduation rate in the nation.
But together, we can change that.
Big Brothers Big Sisters has a solution.
We know that children succeed when they feel loved, safe, and connected.
So we need meaningful relationships outside the classroom.
To close the achievement gap, we must first close the relationship gap.
Together, we can. Graduation is a big deal.
By supporting Big Brothers Big Sisters, you can help our children find the meaningful relationships they need to finish high school strong.
Hi, welcome back to Community Hotline. I'm Monica Weitzel, and we're here at MetroEast Community Media in Gresham. And for our last segment tonight, we have a special couple of guests here. We have Stephanie Rickard, who's the Executive Director of Old McDonald's Farm Incorporated. Thanks for being here, Stephanie.
Thank you.
And she brought with her Ramagan. Hi, Ramagan, how are you? Oh, so sweet. So we'll talk a little bit more with Ramagan in a few minutes, but Stephanie, tell me if you could about Old McDonald's Farm. This is your place. You started this years ago. Can you give me a little history and what your mission is, since you are a nonprofit organization?
Absolutely, I'd be pleased to do that. Stay, buddy, stay. So the short version is we use animals to teach and reach children. And so we're a nonprofit children's program, and we're a very academic program, and we teach science and math and geography and life skills and teaching kids to be kind and capable. We teach kids language arts, all kinds of things, history, all kinds of things, and we just do it with animals. They're the hook for teaching.
And I'm sure that is a very successful hook because
kids
love animals.
Absolutely.
Now, it's not a school, though.
No, we're an alternative enrichment educational program. It's an alternative program, an enrichment program.
So kids go to their regular schools, and then when and how do they become involved with your farm?
Sure. So we teach a number of different classes, and certainly have over the last 20 some odd years, I guess. But I was quite a bit younger when I started this. I had no gray hair. Anywho, so we have the main programs that we have. We have day visit programs, so educational field trips. So we have a 1-hour introduction to the farm for little bitty preschool kids on up to a 3-hour program for older kids. That we've had high school kids out there. I just had an email today from a lady at Alameda School, and they want to bring out 75 children in first grade for one day, and then come out and schedule another 50 kids the next day, and ask if we could accommodate that. And it's like, of course, yes. So we have done the day visit program, depending upon which program they pick. There's 4, as I mentioned, from anywhere from 1 child and a parent. As parents, we have a morning chores package for families to join us. On up to, I think the maximum number that we've ever done was, I believe, 81 children, I think was the maximum number.
That's a lot.
So,
That's a lot.
yes.
If you can accommodate that many, that's pretty great.
So we have 8 different learning centers, and they move around, and they'll do some digging and planting, and do learning about composting and gardening. We have an environmental studies learning center, certainly pygmy goats, cow. There's a cow learning center. There's a horse learning center, so they'll learn about horses and grooming and all of that. We have different, like I said, the tool time, so different learning centers where they rotate, and it's pretty organized, if I do say say so myself.
And it works have to be.
Works pretty well. Oh yeah, you absolutely could not. I mean, chaos is not teaching, so
Right,
it would have to be pretty organized. So we have summer programs, week-long summer camps. We work with kids with special needs. We call it special programs, and design individualized programs around their educational plan that they have. We have a lot of different programs.
You brought a short video, and maybe we can take a look at that, give us a better flavor for what people can expect out there, and then I want to delve a little more deeply into some of your programs, especially coming up this summer.
Great.
So see if we can take a look at that.
So she learns a lot about farm life. In addition to learning about how to work on a farm, she's learning responsibility and strong work ethic, which will help her, of course, as she's older.
You use animals to get kids excited about learning. So we teach science, history, geography, better speaking and writing skills. We teach children to be kind, capable, respectful, caring, can-do. We just use these guys for motivators.
They learn about plants and they learn about animals. They learn about how to respect people and animals.
And it just makes you feel better to know that you did like a full day's work, and like you fed animals, you cleaned up after them, you filled everything you need to fill, you watered, but you just didn't do that for one animal, you did that for 30 animals, so it's really more rewarding.
But it's just a neat setting where kids can do so much. I mean, kids are even sawing wood, they're using post hole pounders. I let kids use drills. We drilled holes in our worm bins, so kids learn about composting, gardening, environmental studies. Their food comes from their chicken dinners, their hamburgers, where their fiber comes from, where goat's milk comes from, or their yogurt or their ice cream from cow's milk. So we get kids excited about learning about agriculture.
We live in the city, and so we don't have a lot of exposure to farm life, some lost knowledge, so to speak. We are so preoccupied in a technologically advanced society, and I just would like her to be exposed to real living.
Lots of our children nowadays are growing up with lots of screen time, so they're using their thumbs and they've got the screen time and they're watching doing lots of things on the computer or doing lots of things with their TVs. Get kids away from the screens and have a real experience with growing something or picking something or harvesting something or riding an animal, like I said, or taking care of the cow.
A couple of things I've learned just from the farm is organization is key to everything you do here. Because without organization, there are 30 some odd animals, 20 kids, a schedule, everything has to be on time and precise to everything you do. Miss Stephanie has taught me that.
It's a wonderful place to start with their educational academic goals, and so we learned a little bit about the history of dachshunds and where they came from. We did estimation on weight and height, and then we measured, so that was kind of fun. It's a great way, like I said, to teach anything. You couldn't just start with one little animal and teach the world. You can talk about Germany and where they were from. We learned lots of vocabulary words, how to approach dogs. So certainly it's a dog thing and practical application of not getting your face stitching when you go up to animals. So we had some fun skits on that. They even did some rating dachshunds on a scale of 1 to 5 on adaptability, cat-friendly, apartment-friendly, all that. So that was kind of fun. So the whole week was the dachshund, so it was really fun. So without further ado.
And one thing that I learned about dachshunds is their name in German means badger dog. One characteristic I learned about the dachshund is that they are the #1 most aggressive dog in the world. My favorite dachshund is remarkable. One point that I need to ask myself if I were to get a dog, what the cost is.
One point that I need to ask myself if I were to get a dog is if I'm willing to spend a lot of time with it. One item to keep in mind when I approach a dog is to make sure to let them sniff my hand.
My favorite farm animal that I met this week is the pig Ninbin. One characteristic or thing about dachshunds that I learned is even though they are short and cute, they still can be dangerous. If I were to get a dog, hundreds of dollars go away.
Well, you get to see the animals and you get to feed them and you get to check their water and pet them.
It's really rewarding to see them really bloom and blossom, I guess, with the focus that we have of being gentle and kind and caring, but also to all the neat academic stuff that we can teach. What a really neat opportunity that was to be on an open space, to get out of the city, to flourish, to thrive, to enjoy, to learn, to explore. I mean, we have a beautiful creek down here. We have nature walks and nature talks and educational opportunities in nature too, which is just lovely. So I'd love for people to have an interest in that, a passion in that, a desire to share that with kids and to help us do that.
And we get to pick up their manure, and manure means poop on the farm.
It's like a little outtake there.
I know, it's perfect.
That's
yeah,
good,
she's
that's
a
good.
lovely little thing.
Oh boy. So what's been the most rewarding thing for you running this organization for all these years?
Certainly seeing the kids get it, to learn something, to be kind to someone else because they've been taught that, to work hard. And I love it when they repeat some of the things that I've taught. It's a can-do farm. We're not allowed to say I can't.
Oh, good.
So that's a neat deal. So we figure out ways that they can do it, whether they get help or ask something or figure out different ways to do things. So that's really kind of neat.
Nothing's impossible. You just have to find out the right way to
really
approach
neat.
it.
I could go on and on with that
I bet
forever.
you could. I bet you could.
It melts my heart actually to see them, and like I said in the video, to thrive and to enjoy and just to learn and to be kids. I mean, it's just
bet there's a
neat.
lot of kids that are city kids that have never been to a farm before.
Absolutely. Most of the kids we've served, which I told you we're almost close to 20,000 children since we started
That's
this.
amazing.
Yeah, it's kind of fun. So most of the kids we serve, we certainly serve kids from the Gresham area and Corbett, certainly, but most of them come from inner Portland and all over. We've had kids as far away from, Beaverton or what have you.
The metropolitan area
The whole
mostly,
metropolitan area.
yeah.
And we've had people that found out about some of our classes that we were offering online, and their families did vacations out here, and they came from back east.
Really?
And,
Oh, how great.
Had a couple people that came from California, a young lady that came from Texas many years in a row, so it was kind of neat.
Wow, that's wonderful. So, so these kids come out here, and you say you have all sorts of programs, and I know there are so many that we probably can't even begin to cover all of them, but I know this summer you've got things going on starting in May. You said something about a junior horse vetting. Tell us what that is.
So in collaboration with Saturday Academy, which they're affiliated with the University of Portland, and they are their own nonprofit organization, but what they offer, it's a lovely relationship that we have with them. They have a really neat catalog that they market to thousands and thousands of people, and so that helps us to get the word out about what we're teaching. And so we, in collaboration with Saturday Academy, are teaching a junior vet workshop in May. We have a Oh Baby Baby class in June. That's a Saturday Academy workshop as well. And we have a bus, our own bus, that transports kids from the Portland area and certainly Gresham too. And so those are Saturday workshops that we're happy to teach. And we have a neat site, so it works well for Saturday Academy to offer those services.
And I'm familiar with Saturday Academy. It's been around for a long time. It has a really good reputation.
Yeah, so we teach with them, and then we also have the field trips, educational field trips, which I mentioned, but then our summer camps start in July for 2nd through 6th grade. We have 6 weeks of full week.
6 weeks?
7, yeah, so 2nd through 6th.
Day camp?
Day camp,
okay.
And we have the bus that transports children, and then we have 1 week of Clancy's Kids Camp for K1, so kindergartners in 1st grade.
Wow.
So it's kind of fun, and Clancy's one of our ponies that's 26, and so we named it after Clancy.
Oh, how
so
cute.
it's Clancy
how
Camp
cute.
for most everybody
Clancy
around.
Camp.
Clancy
So you
Camp.
use the animals in all of your classes.
Absolutely.
So I love when you were talking about, you're measuring and weighing
it's
Remagen
great.
here and talking about, where his name is German and it's a German dog, and so talking about that and using the geography and all that kind of thing, and
it's a
tying
fabulous
it all
way
together.
to motivate children to learn all kinds of neat things, which, sitting in school and looking at a book can get old sometimes, and so the hands-on, connect, look at that face.
I mean, who can
Do you
resist?
not want to learn about this animal
Yes,
because
I
of that
do.
face? I mean, that's exactly the motivation for this.
Yeah.
So here's the deal. So the short version is, when you walk into a park, you'd walk by somebody and you might nod and you might say hello. You might not even say hello, you might just walk by them. But if that person had a really cute little animal in their arms or a puppy, would you not go over to them? You'd be touching them because you're touching the puppy, and your little face is right down their face because the puppy's licking you. And so that is the reason we started Old McDonald's Farm, because it was a neat way to connect and reach children.
And it does. I always said the best way, if you ever wanted to meet somebody and you're wanting to go out dating again, you get yourself a puppy.
Get a cute dog. He can be borrowed.
It's really, it is, a really cute baby or a dog.
There you go. Yeah.
So
horse or a cow works as well.
Yeah, there's some places that are a little hard to take them there.
Absolutely.
But so people are interested in finding out more, either being involved, taking their kids. They can go to your website and get all the information. You'll have room in your summer camps for a while. And
yes, absolutely. We're filling, but we're not full yet.
Okay.
So.
And do you have a need for volunteers?
Always.
Okay.
In fact, I had a young lady that goes to your CAPS school right over here, and she said, I need 5 hours of volunteer work, and I want to work with animals. Can you accommodate? Absolutely.
Great. That's great.
We'd be happy to help.
And most kids in high school now have that requirement in high school to do community service. And so
we've probably had over 2,000 volunteers put in about 22,000 hours of volunteer time to build that place.
Wow.
We love and appreciate and are very blessed with volunteers, absolutely.
How many staff do you have out there?
Myself is the only full-time staff, and we have about 5 part-time on-call people and a number of people that do different things. And
so you do rely on the volunteers a lot.
We do rely on volunteers a lot, absolutely.
Great. What else do we need to know before we run out of time about Old McDonald's Farm? This is, you're going on your... How many years?
Well, I've been working on it forever, but we've been open to serve kids for just about 18 now.
Wow, and almost have your 20th or 20,000th, I can't say it.
Yes, yeah, that's a tongue twister, absolutely.
Okay.
Yes.
So if people are interested, check out the website.
And, oldmcdonaldsfarm.org,
and it's in
Corbett,
Oregon.
Oregon.
Great. Okay.
And we're happy to have folks horseback riding lessons, all kinds of different things we can offer. So yeah.
The diversity of classes and programs is wide at Old McDonald's Farm Inc. So do go on their website, check it out. Stephanie can show you around, and I think it'd be a great place to take the kids and the whole family. So do check that out. There are a lot of great things going on in the area, and there's a whole summer waiting for you to explore them. I'm Monica Weitzel. We'll see you here next week on Community Hotline.
Coming here to shoot my documentary was more than I ever would have dreamed of doing.
This is a community media station.
It was phenomenal.
Ready, camera, 1.
What is it about this place that makes so many different people come together?
Ready, camera, 2.
Very professional, experienced people. You can use these industry standard pieces of equipment.
Ready, camera, 3. Take 3.
You don't have to be rich to do this.
Open people's eyes to something they've never even thought of before.
Cool stuff happens. It becomes this community.
That's going to really change who's telling the stories and who's controlling the messaging.